slide discusses one technique that we like, referred to as SBNRR. Challenging acronym to remember, but sometimes we use somebody needs R&R, somebody needs rest and relaxation. But what the letters actually stand for are over on the right, which is stop, breathe, notice, reflect, and respond. We're going to walk through these steps, but if you remember earlier in the day, we had a quote from Viktor Frankl that said, in that space between stimulus and response lies the ability to pause, and that's where our power is, to paraphrase Victor. It really is that magic divine moment when we pause rather than reacting immediately. And this is one of the tools we use to help us get to that pause. So when we're triggered, the first thing, once we recognize we're triggered, and I'm going to talk more about that, is to do just that. Stop. Take a deep breath. Take several breaths if needed. And we've been learning some breath micro practices. You know how to shift your attention to your breath. Notice what's going on. Notice the fact that, whoa, I've been triggered. And try and understand maybe why you're triggered as part of your reflection. What really is going on? What's causing you to feel this way? And then eventually choose the best response. In a minute, we're going to do a practice related to this. The challenge for me and for most people is to stop. The amygdala, once it goes into hijack, it's out ahead of the prefrontal cortex by anywhere from 60 to 120 seconds. And in that time, we can do and say a lot of things that we regret and really wish we had responded differently. So how do we stop? Well, I was at a workshop about a dozen years ago, and the facilitator said, everybody raise your hand if you'd like to learn how to avoid drama in your life. Boy, my hand shot up. I think prior to that point, I'd been safe to call me a drama queen. I like drama, or at least I thought I did. But I also liked the idea of stopping it and controlling it. So the facilitator went through it and explained that the Greeks figured out drama, the formula for it, over 2,500 years ago in their plays. And you need three elements, three legs of a triangle, if you will. You need a perpetrator, the bad guy, you need a victim, and you need a rescuer. And without all three of those pieces, or all three legs of that drama triangle, the drama collapses. You can't have a drama. So none of us, well, almost none of us ever see ourselves as the perpetrator. We're all good people, and we just don't fall into that role. We may well be a perpetrator relative to somebody else, but the key is to be able to stop yourself when you feel like there is a perpetrator. Usually we're playing the victim, or we're playing the rescuer, or we might be playing multiple roles. We might be the victim and then shift to the rescuer to react in a manner where we think we're saving ourselves, if you will. But the key here is to stop. Well, one of the ways to do that is to become very attuned with your body. If you can remember during the Iowa gambling experiment, where the people were playing the card game, after about 10 cards, the galvanic skin response, the hands began to sweat after about 10 cards, but people didn't consciously begin to have a hunch until about 50 cards were played and didn't really figure the game out till about the 80th card. So the body knew long before the executive processor in the brain figured out what was going on. The body knew. Almost the same when we're triggered. The trigger will key a body reaction usually before we even really realize what's happening. In my own case, I figured out that for me, I feel it right in the back of my neck. It's a combination of almost the hair rising in the back of my neck and stress in the back of my neck. That's where I feel it. You may feel it in your shoulders. Some people feel it in their sternum. Other people feel it in their gut. Your mileage may vary, but you need to try and get attuned to where, because that is your early warning system. That will help you stop. Once you've stopped and just put put everything